Arale Norimaki, star of Dr. Slump, is set to return in Dragon Ball Super. But what will she do? On this video, I'm joined by the Frozen Particle as we give you 10 things that we want from Arale's great return to Dragon Ball in the upcoming Dragon Ball Super episodes. If you're into classic pro wrestling and you can take a joke, check out my pro wrestling podcast, the K-Fabulous Lucha Brothers Wrestling Show. Subscribe on iTunes and I will leave the link down below. Prior to Toriyama even starting on Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump was the manga that made him a millionaire. And hearing that Arale was coming back after her appearance briefly in the Dragon Ball crossover way back many years ago, it's interesting and intriguing to see what she could do with this character that a lot of Western fans don't really know about. So on this video, I'm going to give you 10 things that we want Arale to do in Dragon Ball. Now, I'm very aware that a lot of fans don't really read Dr. Slump and aren't too familiar with it. So, obviously there's places on the internet and places you can go do homework if you need to. But if you remember Arale from Dragon Ball way back, and if you're appreciative of Toriyama's work, you'll know what the hell we're talking about. So joining me here, please welcome from Space Australia, the dark side of Space Australia, the Frozen Particle.
Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Happy to be here, Daddy.
Oh my god, you're doing it too. Well, Frozen Particle may actually be my son, so check out his video channel thing, YouTube thing. I'm going to put the link down below. So here's the way it works. Like always, Nathan, I say one, you say one till we hit 10. Kind of just discuss it, kind of a free-flowing discussion. And, of course, as always, I want everybody to leave your comments down below. What do you want Arale to do? Now, there's a lot of information that the fans of Dragon Ball may not know about Arale because there is no English dub. There's no Western localization. There was an old Harmony Gold dub from forever ago that almost nobody has ever seen, and that's fine. So we can try to educate them a little bit. So, you go first. What is your first thing that you want Arale to do in Dragon Ball Super, making her great return to the franchise?
I want Arale to meet the Sun family. Just meet all of them. Goku, obviously she met in the crossover, obviously, when he was a kid. But I'd like for her to meet Chi-Chi, and maybe I'd like to see maybe Chi-Chi get mad at her, and she sees, the angry, pissed side of Chi-Chi. I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Also, her to interact with Gohan, even though he's at that fucking conference. Like, how long's it going to be?
I don't know.
But anyway.
Well, we'll talk about that. But yeah, then the other thing, too, I want to clarify for a lot of folks is that Dr. Slump is not necessarily a shonen manga, even though it was in Shonen Jump. It's not like a shonen action series. It is a comedy series. So if Arale's gonna be here, you might get some cool shit like fights. Probably not, though. You're probably gonna get a lot of more fun stuff. But if you've seen Dragon Ball, you kind of know what she's about. So I agree with you. What about her meeting Vegeta's family?
That wouldn't go down as smoothly as if she met Goku, but that would be comedy freaking gold. I would love that, bro.
I agree with you, bro. All right, now my first one's kind of similar to yours. Is I want Arale to meet Goten and think that Goten is Goku, because she has not seen Goku since he was a kid. Obviously, Goten looks like Goku, and I think it would be a fun comedic moment. It's kind of like Pilaf. They haven't really seen these characters in a while. When Pilaf saw Bulma in Battle of Gods, same thing here. Arale sees Goku, or I'm sorry, she sees Goten, thinks that he's Goku, and then she sees the real full-size large Goku, and then it gets wacky. Just that one scene would be awesome. What is your next one?
Arale talking with Android 18 about their android slash human body.
Yes.
And I think I think this would be really cool, since Android 18 is a android, but she was originally human, but Arale was just all android. She was conceived and made.
I wanted to clarify that. Senbei Norimaki, who is essentially Dr. Slump, created Arale. Even though she's the main character, the story starts with him creating her from scratch. So it's not like Dr. Guerra, who took an existing person and made that girl into 18. Senbei created her from scratch.
Yeah, but it would be really cool to see 18 interacting with Arali and them talking about sort of their parts, their robotic parts, not their lady parts, but uh,
Well, the lady
bro-
parts might be robotic in one of their cases, so.
yeah, but that would be really cool to see, man.
Yes, yeah, I think that would be cool as well. All right, now my next one, I tweeted about it a few days ago. Arale babysitting Pan. I would just absolutely love this. We need more episodes with Pan around. I wonder where the hell Bra is, but that's a whole different story for a different video. Because at this point, Bra should at least be Bulma should at least be somewhat pregnant, but we'll talk about that some other
Yeah.
time. The idea of Arale babysitting Pan, I think, would be comedic gold, or also even Goku babysitting Pan and having to figure out how to change a diaper. I kind of think that like the whole like, oh, I'm learning to change a diaper thing is such like played out humor, but if it's Goku doing it or Arale, I think it would actually work out to be pretty damn funny. Not to mention, I would love Arale to actually train Pan one of these days, because they're about the same height anyways, or at least they were not the same, but Arale's a little bit taller, but it would be
Yeah.
cool if they go right to before the end of Z with the Oob stuff if they had Arale training Pan. So I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, just to add to the whole Goku trying to figure out stuff, I really do like that aspect. I love when characters don't know about something and then like something comedical like changing a diaper
And the
and
thing
then
is,
they figure it out.
yeah, and the thing is, people are gonna say, "Well, Goku already has a son." Yeah, but I assume that Chi-Chi did all the motherly stuff on that one. That's my
Yeah,
guess, though.
yeah.
What's your next one?
Raleigh beating up Jocko. Now this would be absolutely hilarious because Jocko like himself is just amazing. Like he's comedy gold, but him like being sort of there with Arali, oh my god, that would be great. And Arali testing her strength to Jocko, and that would give an indication to the audience how strong Arali is with her like easily like beating up, flicking Jocko or whatever. I think that would be really funny.
It would be, and Jocko's not even that strong, but he still, fought with
Yeah.
the Frieza army. I agree with you, and also, maybe Senbei or somebody from Doctor Slump, maybe Turbo, create a time machine, and Jocko's like, no, 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 you can't do that. So I don't know. There's tons of ways to take it. So my next one is actually about Senbei Norimaki. Senbei Norimaki meeting Doctor Briefs and Bulma. What a great idea this would be for me because of a couple reasons. Number one, Dr. Briefs and Bulma. Dr. Briefs is the richest man in the world, and him and Bulma are like the smartest people in the world because Dr. Gero's dead. And Senbei Norimaki in the Dr. Slump universe is very, very intelligent. They never really say he's the smartest in the world, but he is intelligent. Now, I do want to
Yeah.
clarify something for a lot of people. We talked about this before we started recording. Dr. Slump's universe and Dragon Ball's universe is not exactly the same. They are not identical. There was a crossover in Dragon Ball, but you cannot take that seriously because it's just this little fun crossover. So don't think that Norimaki necessarily existed or was paying attention to anything that was going on throughout the series. But it's possible that he was, but it's an alternate version of Senbei. The Senbei from Dr. Slump and Senbei from our universe, it's just a crossover. So don't overthink it is what I'm trying to tell you. But
Yeah.
Senbei being so smart and meeting Dr. Briefs and Bulma, saying, "Oh, I have heard of you," type thing, even in Dr. Slump world, I think would be awesome. And who knows, maybe Senbei can use his genius mind to help Bulma fix the new intergalactic dragon radar and they can find the Super Dragon Balls faster. I think that would be a good little idea to kind of incorporate that character into the Dragon Ball universe.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that would be really awesome. And also, um, that would give sort of more insight on maybe Dr. Briefs and the way he operates and just to see all that sciencey stuff because we always see sort of the tech that like they sort of make, like the Super Dragon Ball radar, the time machine, but we don't really see much of the construction process. So I think that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, the only time we really saw him doing anything scientific is when he was screwing around with 16. That's pretty much it, right? I can't think of any
Hmm.
other time. He's just smoking with his cat. So, all right, your next one.
Her like a Raleigh just to be a cameo because I
You don't
wouldn't
want
want
her to
her.
stick around, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Like not as much as like tights. I wouldn't want a Raleigh to be that. like minuscule, but I maybe just for like an episode or two, just to do some comedic stuff, and it would really depend on how they introduce her, and her longevity, and if they find up like a way to extend her way into the plot and sort of without really forcing it, I'd be all for that, but I wouldn't really see how that would happen. So yeah, just a cameo would do.
Agreed. That would be. I don't think she should be there for the rest of the series unless she makes cameos here and there. Yeah, I don't want her to be fighting, even though it would be cool to see her fighting at least once. My next one is Whis meeting Turbo. Now, for those who don't know who Turbo is, you got to go back and watch the Dr. Slump crossover with Dragon Ball, or actually watch or read Dr. Slump. Turbo is pretty much Senbei Norimaki and his wife Midori's first son, and he's pretty much a true genius. Like, he's even smarter than freaking Senbei, and he also has telepathic and telekinetic psychic powers. People who have power scaled Dr. Slump, which is not a good idea because it'll give you headaches, have put this guy ahead of like Frieza and other big characters. And he's a baby. He's a little baby who looks
Yeah.
like Krillin. The idea of Turbo meeting Whis and maybe even having Whis be impressed with the potential that Turbo has would be comedic gold. And again, folks, you can't take this seriously. You can't take this as being, oh my God, you can't sit there and do a Dragon Ball power skill and put Turbo there like under Gogeta or whatever the fuck. It's just supposed to be comedy. Turbo was one of the few characters to actually reverse General Blue's technique. So again, Turbo is one of the most awesome characters in Dr. Slump, a super intelligent telekinetic baby. Having him interact with Beerus or Whis, I think, would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I would really love to see that. So, my number five is Arale getting jealous, or at least noticing, Bulma's bust size. Now, in
Pervert.
Dr. Slump, amazing. But Arale deems herself not to have too big of a chest, and she complains about that.
Yeah.
So her seeing Bulma's bust size, which is confirmed,
Big.
to be
Confirmed big.
yeah,
How about that?
yeah, pretty much.
Especially in episode 29. Was it 29 or was it 31?
It was 29, I think, pretty sure.
Well,
But
okay,
anyway,
whatever. It's the one you fat, the one you fat to the most. What you're trying to say? That's what you're saying. But it's
yeah.
telling me. But all right.
um, but yeah, so Arale getting jealous would lead to some good comedy, and also Bulma's a pretty tempered person, so her and Arale getting into some sort of argument would be really cool. And there's also been some bust like size related jokes with Zuno and stuff, so it sort of fit into the comedy of Super. But yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it would also be cool if Zuno was somehow involved as well. Because he likes
Yeah.
big titties like me. So there you go. All right, my number five. Well, again, we're getting wacky here, and that's what we should do because Dr. Slump is wacky. Toriyama's a comedy writer. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand is that Toriyama, he writes cool fight scenes, but he really is mostly a comedic writer. Dragon Ball should not be taken that seriously. Arale and Goten dating. Okay, so as of Battle of Gods, Trunks' girlfriend is Mai. We haven't seen that in Super. The idea of Goten developing a crush on Arale, that's of course if he decides not to age, which according to Super he might never age at this point. But Goten and Arale going on a date or something like that, or interacting, I think would be amazing, just amazing stuff, and maybe even somewhat of a precursor to the Pimp GT Goten that we saw, even though the continuities don't match, still, even though Goten was, I think Toriyama wrote him to be promiscuous anyways, but I think Goten and Arale interacting and like, and then the whole thing could be, wait a minute, and if Arale likes him back, even though she is not human, people would wonder, did she have a crush on Goku way back in the day and never said anything? Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? But I think that would be a great filler episode, slice of life episode. I think I would enjoy seeing that.
Yeah, and also they could reintroduce the concept of Mai and Trunks sort of dating, and maybe they can go on a double date, and that would be really cool as well. Just like four kids hanging out, like that would be really funny and going off on their adventures.
No, that would
Kind
be
of like,
great if they went on an adventure and like Arale accidentally blows up a mountain or some shit. Oops, there's so much cool shit they could do, bro. It's just it's the potential's limitless with this fucking shit.
yeah, bro, like you said, and people often misquote, there's like 10 years of material that Toriyama, has the potential to set up.
Yeah, he
Um,
set up for 10 years worth of material. He didn't give them a book that says, "Hey, do this for 10 years." People got that
yeah.
mixed up. Anyways, those are our 10. Give us yours down below, things you want Arale Norimaki to do, and definitely try to, if you're a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, try to check out Dr. Slump. It's not the same thing though. It's really a lot of comedy with puns, so you might not it's not for everyone, but it is fun to read. It's Toriyama art. It's, there's no anime. Well, there's two animes, but there's no dub, so you might have to look up clips. I haven't seen any real progress on that. It may never happen, but do that. But also make sure to check out the Frozen Particle. I will leave the link down below, and we'll catch you down the road.